Oh, getting all dreamy there.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice chorus sound too.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
It's a preset in the Line 6 app.
Sounds good. Okay, so that's a major chord there in the right hand.
And the Stairway to Heaven kind of...
The chromatically descending bass line.
Right, the obvious descending bass line.
So you see, like with the left hand, for example, right now you see that the fingers are not really lined up with a string, which basically should be the default.
Okay. Yeah.
So not saying that what you're doing there is wrong.
Yeah.
But however, there's one thing, like for example, you just went from one string to another with the left hand in the same fret, and really you wouldn't want to do that. You want to like not use the same finger twice in the same fret space as a basic rule.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't want to do that. To do that, you would alternate between first and second finger.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
And why would you do that? Because doesn't it make more sense to play the bass with one hand and the other stuff with the other hand?
Well, your hand, yes, but I'm talking about first and second finger of the same hand.
I see. Okay.
And the reason you see like this, what happens is that, I mean, we don't hear it now, so you could say it's not that important, but you will always create a little bit of a sound in between the notes, which could be like the open string or some kind of plucking noise, right? And then so by going from first to second finger and from second to third or third to fourth finger and backwards, you can always control the resonance of the string that you've just left, let's say.
I see, okay, yeah. That was a problem I ran into, that noise in between notes.
Yeah, that's what the release is for, like the touch release move, remember?
Yep.
So basically you're trying to maximize the time that you can stay released on the string.
Yeah.
So that's why you play the next note not with the same finger.
Okay.
And that's a general rule. It should be like in the original family exercises, like with the son, daughter, mother, father.
Yeah.
It's the basic rule. Like you don't ever use the same finger twice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. Rockin'.
Yeah, man.
So you see, like when you're hearing, like this was just all ascending stuff. So it almost becomes sort of like hammer-ons that you're doing there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's also something that for the beginner you want to avoid to do that all the time.
Okay.
And also, like when you're hearing the buzz, you can see that your fingers are not behind the fret, right behind the fret, but kind of like further up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's great that you're experimenting with this. There's just
trying to shred.
Yeah. When you're discovering something like this, you can always think like, okay, what happens if I reverse the order of the notes, play descending as well, and then the descending should be is usually the default articulation. Oh, this is nice, yeah. Hey, you wanted to see that?
No, I was gonna pause it, but yeah. Well, because this is a different musical thing entirely.
Yeah, but here you see, if you would go dum 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 2 1 2 dum, 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 right, you get more of the bounce also.
Interesting.
Right. So if you dum, 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 you're pretty limited in the articulation.
Right.
On top of not getting the best sound.
Interesting.
And remember, we need the kinetic movement in order to raise the energy to play a good note. So that's why even having to kind of like in one fret to change the fingers like this in one fret is what we want. We want to move. We want to have that energy that we can put into the string.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're playing double stops like you did there,
yeah,
and that sounds very good with the right hand. Obviously, the rules change a little bit. Like, it is possible to also to roll the fingers or to do the daughter exercise with the double stop.
Yeah.
It's like, for example, you play double stop like this, you play like this, or play 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and you could roll like this, which is intense.
Yeah.
But that then will give you another level of control again. Right. But it's fine the way you do that here, especially because you do not lift your fingers off the string too far.
Yeah.
You know, which is like one of the other kind of like beginners mistakes that you see a lot.
I noticed when doing those double stops, it's very hard to avoid the noise in between notes.
Yeah, you have to have a very, very good release, which you can do here with 2 fingers. Remember the full release I showed you? So here just playing like 2 fingers, 1 and 2 together. Then so you go touch, you do release, and then you play the next one in the same place, touch, release. So there's always a bounce in between, a little bit of a bounce to the released position, which stops the strings, and it just requires a lot of practice for that to become natural. So what I think, like when you're hearing those notes in between the open strings, right? It just means you're not staying on the string long enough.
I see. Yeah.
And when I say long enough, it's not about the total time, it's about the relative time.
Right.
Right. You don't have to slow down in order to do that.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to slow down to practice it, so that when you speed it up, it also works then.
Gotcha. So just need a split second to mute the string, essentially, or to release, and then.
And as you know, like muting the string is actually taking the energy out of it, all the energy out of it. Right? Of course. Right? So, and you do that by leaving the fingers on, or the finger on the string when the string is not pushed down.
Gotcha.
That's the release.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful, amazing that you figured.
I got a little obsessed trying to figure this thing out.
No, it's amazing what you're doing. Like, you already understand the fact that the 2 hands, they integrate into each other. So that one note of the melody, you play that with the left hand. Amazing, really, really good.
I had no choice. That's where the note was.
Yes,
so.
yes. It's really, really nice. You know, and so in the end you will see it will be, and you're already doing that very well. It's important to get the sense that the melody can move from one hand to the other. Like, and you kind of like this metaphor I used, like imagine, you know, the notes that belong together, like the melodic phrase should be as if there's a little small ball of fire jumping from one note to the next, or from one finger to the other, right? And so it would jump between the hands while you're playing the bass note here, you know? So
it does, so it's like, it really is like the hand, like it's one big hand.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's so limiting to only think of it as this one thing and then this other thing.
Yes.
This was the day I discovered distortion.
It's nice. So playing with distortion then requires a whole other level of control.
Because you hear the details more.
Yeah, you need to mute in more.
Gotcha. Also, there's definitely too much distortion on it, but it's a little...
not for my taste.
I mean, I like it, but it's a little out of control when I start playing chords.
Oh, that's nice. It's like a corn piece.
Right. I love that low string. Yeah. That's the idea.
So you see, with something that it's really, you're mostly playing ascending sets of notes.
Oh, interesting. I didn't
Like
notice.
there's very little, if at all. It's always right? And so we will be trying to break that from the very beginning. So even like today, to show you that you don't always have to start with the low note, and you don't always have to start with the left hand.
Yeah, right.
And this will be important.